First Thanksmassacre. It started out on a dark and dreary night, right after Thanksgiving. And then...
Oh god.
Little Billy Joe Hansen decided he would go outside to water the horses.
Now, Billy Joe wasn't the strongest or most intelligent kid, but
he was packing.
Oh, that's it.
That was a sentence.
And everybody in town knew about it.
so as he strode from the porch to the stable, he thought,
Damn.
I wish my brother Dan was packing like me.
Why do you wish that?
But I really wish my brother Ryan wasn't confused for a girl all the time.
so by that time he had made it to the stable, opened the door, and found the horses.
I think Connor can keep the story on track.
The horses were all saddled up with battle attire. Nerf swords and Nerf shields.
And it had only been 6 weeks since the Smiths from across town had crossed into forbidden territory.
Why? Why?
Why, guys?
You'll see, you'll see.
Doesn't matter.
We're getting there.
They're in forbidden territory. Doesn't matter.
So he knew it was time to water the horses. So he knew it was time to water the horses, saddle up, and hit the road.
Gonna relate something to do with the real.
By them, he means
It's really serious.
little Billy Joe Dean. What?
Hanson.
Billy Joe
Billy Joe Hansen. Billy Joe Hansen and his compadre Pedro saddled up on their horses and got ready for the big
near the border parade to celebrate the dividing up of the land.
epic. The Homestead Act of...
The Homestead Act of 1492.
Little did they know.
Same year that Columbus sailed the ocean.
That was Columbus, right?
No, that was 1496.
1492.
Six doesn't rhyme with blue.
Columbus sailed the ocean.
He was so adamant.
Little did they know that same family tread into the forbidden territory was saddling up that same very night.
Dun, dun, dun. The Thanksmassacre is a soap opera.
Guys, we only have 22 minutes left.
In a dark and wooded path, the two bands met.
The bands.
The only light in the forest came from the jack-o'-lanterns that had been set up the night before.
And it just so happened to be around the opening of the forest that they met.
This opening also had a lake. In the lake were Viking ships with shields up and flaming
And pants down.
They drew swords.
Hey, what is that?
They also
see their weapons.
as the 3 parties neared each other in the woods.
Allison interjected.
I was about to fork my whipped cream out. I'm not.
The Vikings were suddenly turned on.
They knew this would be a night none of them would ever forget.
Because most of them will be dead.
Such was the first Thanksmassacre.
As they neared each other through the clearing in the forest.
We just
We're getting back on track.
Yeah, come on.
We have
they
20
all
minutes.
cried their battle cries and charged at one another.
What were their
That's your own face, not your battle
Starts it.
Go ahead.
Hey, we're not normal. We're...
No, I started with the battle cries.
You're so much worse for you.
The battle cries were so ferocious, the Vikings second-guessed their Thanksmassacre plans.
Wait, the Vikings were involved?
And tried to retreat to their ships, but it turns out they were surrounded.
By who?
By both parties. The Hanson and Pedro.
Pedro had his pants down at his waist.
What happened to the Smiths?
Yeah.
And the Smiths were rounding Pedro. Pedro got double
He really put the ass in massacre.
The details of the actual massacre are foggy. Only 2 people walked away that night.
Pedro.
One of them limping.
And
More saddle sore.
and his new Viking lover.
So the Thanksmassacre is
This-
alien.
this- So not the race scene.
Let's go back on track. The Vikings are surrounded by Pedro, Joe, and
Smith.
Ryan. Take it away.
Joe ran at them first with a battle axe above his head, and
the Vikings countered with Nerf swords.
A scene in the
The
background.
Smiths shot him down with bows and arrows.
All of the Vikings?
No, the Hanson.
how many Vikings are there?
Dan?
Dan.
Okay.
Billy Dean Johansson.
You're half hard, you're half not.
Even though the boy was packing, his axe was not quite enough.
No.
The story's too long. My attention span is better.
Dan,
I'm not sure.
the smartest and most handsome of all of the
This is
Vikings,
like Christmas specials are 30
then
minutes.
slaughtered most of the Smiths
With
and
commercials.
Pedro and chopped off Joe's leg.
All right, Dan, the best looking of the Vikings, had a pretty mouth. So then was forced to bend over and be the Viking lover that we talked about earlier.
But instead of doing that, he killed everybody else. Thus, the end of the Thanksmassacre.
That was the first Thanksmassacre.